Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds showrunner Akiva Goldsman explains why the show is set to end after its 5th season. Debuting as the 11th Star Trek TV series, Strange New Worlds premiered in September 2022 and received positive reception for its storytelling and talented, diverse cast, winning 2 Primetime Creative Arts Emmy Awards. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 3 will conclude in September 2025, and Season 4 is set to premiere sometime in 2026. In June 2025, a 5th and final season of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds was renewed, with a reduced episode count, and Goldsman has opened up on why the show will end after Season 5. Per Collider, Goldsman discussed how Paramount Plus only wanted the show to run 4 seasons, but that he and the team were committed to concluding the show in the most satisfying way to make the transition to the original series as smooth as possible. The studio agreed and allowed them to do a truncated final season to help with this. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 4 could have wound up being the conclusion to the series, but it seems from Goldsman's comments that the show has organically evolved beyond the point that was initially planned. He clearly believes the series needed a 5th season to wrap it up, as Pike's classic captain's oath states the Enterprise is on a 5-year mission. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds ending with Season 5 means that the show has run its course, and will bookend the series' run in a way that helps round out the show's impact. The fact that Goldsmith knows he has a 5th season to round out the show means he can plan in advance and make sure the show concludes in a way that feels satisfactory. It is common for a lot of TV shows to overstay their welcome, which tends to see a dip in quality. However, Strange New Worlds feels like it will run the length it needs to, and the final season has been renewed to allow the show to tie up its loose ends in the right way and conclude as one of the strongest Star Trek TV shows of recent times. There have been many Star Trek shows since the original series debuted in the 60s, with varying degrees of popularity and success. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has been one of the strongest shows in the franchise. When Star Trek: Strange New Worlds first debuted, it quickly established itself as a shining beacon in the modern era of Trek. Fans who longed for a return to episodic adventures, vibrant characters, and that optimistic vision of the future found a home aboard the USS Enterprise under Captain Christopher Pike. Yet now, the surprising news that the series will conclude with Season 5 has sparked both disappointment and curiosity. Why would Paramount Plus decide to end one of its most critically acclaimed and beloved shows while it's still thriving? The answer is more layered than it first appears, rooted in storytelling strategy, behind-the-scenes planning, and the ever-shifting landscape of streaming television. Unlike some television shows that stretch on until ratings dwindle, Strange New Worlds was quietly designed with a limited-run philosophy. Creators Akiva Goldsman, Henry Alonso Myers, and Alex Kurtzman knew they were working within specific Star Trek canon constraints. Captain Pike's story isn't an open book, it's a timeline we already know pieces of. From Pike's tragic future aboard the training vessel accident to the inevitable arrival of Captain Kirk's command, Strange New Worlds was always a prequel with a built-in endpoint. Season 5, insiders say, is where the storylines of Pike, Spock, and Number 1 will naturally converge with the timeline we know from the original series. Rather than dragging the story past its natural rhythm, the showrunners are choosing to bow out gracefully, ensuring a tight, well-crafted conclusion. There's a tendency among fandoms to panic when a show ends. Was it canceled? Did the network lose faith? That's not the case here. In fact, Paramount Plus has openly credited Strange New Worlds with reinvigorating Star Trek for a new generation. What's happening is closer to what we see with prestige dramas like Breaking Bad or Succession, shows that choose their ending rather than being forced into one. By Season 5, arcs for characters like Lon Noonien Singh, Dr. Mabenga, and Nyota Uhura will have reached their zenith. The showrunners have made it clear they don't want filler episodes dragging down the legacy of the series. They want every season to matter, every finale to feel earned. Another factor is the growing Star Trek universe on streaming. Paramount Plus isn't pulling back on Trek, it's diversifying it. With Starfleet Academy in development, animated hits like Lower Decks still going strong, and discussions of possible spin-offs from Strange New Worlds itself, the franchise has become a living ecosystem. Ending Strange New Worlds after 5 seasons creates space for new stories without oversaturating audiences with too many overlapping shows. It's a balance between honoring legacy characters and investing in fresh narratives that expand the scope of the Federation. One of the most compelling reasons to end with Season 5 is Captain Pike himself. From the very beginning, Anson Mount's performance has been infused with the weight of Pike's foreknowledge, his unavoidable accident that will leave him scarred, paralyzed, and confined to a beeping chair. While Strange New Worlds has given Pike layers of humor, compassion, and strength, it has never shied away from this looming destiny. Stretching the story indefinitely risks cheapening that tragic arc. By concluding in Season 5, the writers can weave Pike's fate into the series' climax, delivering a resolution that is powerful, heartbreaking, and faithful to canon. Take Spock, for instance. His journey in Strange New Worlds has been about reconciling his Vulcan and human sides, exploring early romances, and slowly becoming the Spock we recognize in the original series. By the end of Season 5, the Spock of Leonard Nimoy's legacy will be nearly complete. Number 1, Una Chin Riley has gone from enigmatic first officer to one of the most layered characters in modern Trek. Her arc about identity, belonging, and the cost of leadership is destined for closure, not indefinite repetition. And new fan favorites like Ortegas and Lon will also find natural stopping points for their development rather than drifting aimlessly. Behind the camera, production costs inevitably play a role. Strange New Worlds is one of the most visually ambitious Trek series ever created, with elaborate sets, cutting-edge CGI, and cinematic-level detail. While Paramount Plus has been willing to invest, streaming economics are shifting. With more competition, budgets are scrutinized more heavily than ever. A 5-season run allows the show to go out while it's still a critical darling, rather than risk budget cuts that could compromise quality. Going out at the peak, there's also something undeniably Star Trek about leaving the stage while the lights are still shining bright. Many long-running series have struggled with fatigue, but Strange New Worlds is charting a different course. Ending on Season 5 ensures that it joins the ranks of short but powerful runs that remain iconic in memory. Just as the original series lasted only 3 seasons yet defined a genre, Strange New Worlds can secure its place as a jewel of modern Trek without overstaying its welcome. Seeds of what's next. Of course, an ending in Trek is rarely the end. The conclusion of Strange New Worlds will likely plant seeds for future stories. Could we see a spin-off focusing on Lon and her complicated family legacy? Will Uhura's path link directly into her TOS adventures? Might Captain Kirk himself transition into a full-fledged prequel series, bridging the gap to the original series? Fans are already speculating, and Paramount Plus is surely considering ways to carry the momentum forward. By ending with Season 5, the creative team gains the freedom to pass the torch, just as Trek has always done. The legacy of Strange New Worlds. When the final credits roll on Season 5, Strange New Worlds will leave behind a remarkable legacy. It restored the optimism and spirit of exploration that made Star Trek a cultural phenomenon. It reminded fans that episodic storytelling can thrive in a streaming world dominated by serialized arcs. It gave us unforgettable characters, from Pike's compassionate command to Ortegas' witty banter. Most importantly, it proved that Star Trek can still surprise us, still make us dream of the stars, and still challenge us to live up to the ideals of the Federation. Ending with Season 5 isn't a failure. It's a bold choice to preserve that legacy untarnished. Conclusion. So why is Star Trek Strange New Worlds ending with Season 5? Because it's the right time, narratively, financially, and creatively. Because Pike's story deserves a conclusion that resonates. Because the characters we love will shine brighter if their arcs are allowed to end meaningfully. And because, as all Trekkies know, endings in this universe are never really endings, only the beginning of new frontiers. Like all great voyages, Strange New Worlds was never meant to last forever. But 5 seasons will be enough to secure its place among the legends of the franchise. After all, Star Trek has always been about boldly going where no one has gone before, and sometimes that means knowing when to set a course for home. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.